Welcome to episode 2 of Ono Creates. On this episode, we're going to go ahead and kind of do a more freestyle sort of project. Now, as always, I start off with a sketch, but what happens here in the end, I don't really base it off this sketch. I attempted it first, but then I come to an epic failure, and so I decide to move on without a sketch. And since we do not have a sketch, let's just freestyle. We're gonna freestyle with some animals that we purchased from a garage sale earlier that week. By we, I mean these are my kids' toys, and I am destroying them with, we haven't done this before at all, right? No? Yeah, no, okay. So now that we have a bunch of little bits, we're gonna go ahead and use this as a primary, base for our thing. I don't know what this thing is yet. Now, I do encourage you next time you are at a garage sale to look for something similar, as I think these are beneficial when it comes to any kind of tabletop game or scratch building or kit bashing to, I don't know. I mean, look at this. I mean, what is this? Essentially, what the goal here is to find different pieces of different things that go together in some strange fashion and basically glue them together to create something brand new. Now I took a dinosaur's tail and glued it to a dinosaur's head. So busting out the old bit box, as we know what this is, I find some bits and decide that's what we're gonna do to give it a more of a mechanical feel. I don't know why we went mechanical, but when in doubt, glue it out. So I go ahead and add a moose, I guess just the antlers of it, to this interesting beast we've created so far. Not knowing exactly where we're going next, I add in I add to the more mechanical feel of this. So I found this in my bits box and decided to cut it up to create some sort of neck, potentially, for whatever this is, or and maybe a tentacle? I'm not sure, honestly. This is what you get for sketching in real time. Hey, look, it's Cell from Dragon Ball Z. You know the little needle thing? Yeah, okay, whatever. Next on the list is to go ahead and make a base. We use air dry clay for this, so all I really do is make a ball, and then I smash the ball with my statue. Now, be careful if you have trypophobia. This next part will be a little tricky for you, as we're gonna make a bunch of little holes. As a matter of fact, a lot of little holes. The goal is to make this look as disgusting as possible in a replication of rotting flesh. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue my base to the air dry clay using construction adhesive. I don't know if this is required, but I figured I would just go ahead and do it, because why not? And then continue to make many holes. Now, if you are a person that owns a 3D printer, save these things, please. At least a resin printer, right? Because these are going to be useful in a lot of different projects that you may come across. And in my particular case, I decided to add to the mechanical field by throwing these into the air dry clay, giving it more of a mechanical absorption type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like it's absorbed? Yeah, whatever. Next, I use this plant I found at Walmart. Now, this is a fake plant that's been sitting in my basement for about 6 months, not knowing what it was going to be used for, and today was the day we realized its full potential. I take little snippets off this plant and put it all around, and after everything's firmly glued into place, you can see we have something. Alright, now that we've primed it in black, we're going to go ahead and douse it in red, because again, we want this to be pretty disgusting. Now, this is kind of Blanchitsu / horror inspired, so I decided to go the gross route with this. After a big dosage of red, we then want to add some more colors. So we have brown, tan, and pink, because we want to create kind of a flesh-like material, like ripped skin flesh, something like this. After adding in a variety of shades of this, I moved on to adding a color pop, so I moved to the mechanical parts with a blue, which I kind of like the blue a lot. It gives a little pop, so then I decided to add that to the things coming out of the skin. Yeah. Now we have this nice base with this nice blue shade, so let's go ahead and add some gray. Now this represents the thing holding the tip. I don't know, I don't have words for these yet. You know, I don't know what this is. So next we add a wash. Now this is not just an acrylic wash. What this is a oil-based wash with oil paints and mineral spirits. Now be careful with this because it will eat away at the paint itself. So this is a pretty hardcore wash. So in my case, I'm gonna go ahead and douse the entire thing. And I found out later that I wish I blotted some of this up, but it does look pretty disgusting so far, which I kind of wanted. But after it was dry, we lost a lot of the color that we originally put down. So now we're going to take a little bit of time to go ahead and put some of that back in. Starting with some of the lighter, I guess, peach flesh colors, you know, ripped skin colors, those things. We're going to go ahead and add that back in a little bit. And then we're going to move on to adding some of the gray. I wanted to wash some of this out, but it washed a little too much for my liking in this particular project. So now we're going to add in some of the red. In this case, I wanted it to like kind of bleed, you know, a little bit more. So I decided, why not make a red wash? You know, I don't know. I think that made sense. All right, so now we just let the project bleed, I guess. So I glob it up quite a bit because I want it to drip. And in most cases, this turned out pretty well. So I guess here's the blood. So I took this opportunity to go ahead and add some extra coloring to the mechanical parts. I used a varying amounts of colors. In this case, I was just using some greens and some yellows to go ahead and add for no particular reason, really, other than I wanted to contrast some of the red with a bit of color. Now we have some eggs. I made these off screen. These are basically just the leftover air dry clay I rolled into little egg-like shapes to add a bit more grossness to this thing. So I tried this method of coloring them instead of coloring them individually, trying to be a little bit lazy about this, and I dripped them down into some paint that I already had in my palette. Mix them around a little bit, cross them over into different colors. And then, you know, look at that. That's like a little flesh sack. And that was the ultimate goal here. So then I let them dry just for a little bit on a napkin. Now's a good time to mention that all of the music produced for this episode is by Johnny Bailey. Please look at the description below to take a peek at their music. They are a fantastic musical artist and create copyright-free music for streamers and YouTubers alike with permission. So go ahead and check them out. Now that I have placed, I guess, eggs all over the place, I decided they needed a little bit of a touch-up. So I decided to add some variant peach, red, etc. colors, and then a little bit of red at the bottom to give the bleed effect from the nest of eggs and the mechanical parts below. As, you know, I mean, they're coming from a pile of flesh. I feel like that's a gruesome process, so there would be blood involved from anything emitting, or I guess growing from the pile of flesh. So here we have, I guess something close to a finished result. Are we on to the finished result part? Are we really at that part? Oh, okay, Celeste, please get off my desk. Well, I guess, here's the result. I want to say thanks to everyone who's been watching these videos so far, and I appreciate the support with a like, comment, and a subscription. Go ahead and let me know what you want to see in the next video. I'll take that into consideration. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.